Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Welcome to the TMZ Podcast. Derek here.
Courtney here.
Eric here.
All right, guys. We've got a full slate of stories. I was out last week, had a little bout with COVID, but I'm healthy again.
I hope so. You're sitting right there.
I'm right next to you.
Right next
no
to
mask. I am invincible for the next 30 days. So it's a good feeling to be back.
Sure.
So we've got a couple good stories, like really big stories dominated the weekend. The biggest one in my mind is that the ballad of Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson has come to a close.
You have been waiting for this.
If only someone could have called it. If only someone had been saying this for the whatever. What were they together for? 6 or 8 months?
9 months.
9 months.
For
9 months.
9 months.
He lasted longer than I expected.
He
but
did.
Kanye West, who's been fairly quiet by Kanye standards, wasn't going to miss this moment. Wasn't going to miss this moment. He posted a mock-up of a New York Times that said, Skete Davidson dead at age 28. And I love this. The little byline underneath, he put, Kid Cudi meant to play funeral, but fearful of bottle throwers. So he got in a shot at Kid Cudi. He's got the Skete Davidson headline. Obviously, he did the music videos where he buried a claymation of Pete Davidson. He was never a fan of this relationship.
No.
And now it's run its course. I mean, it sounds like the distance sort of killed it. I have my sort of suspicions that it was more than
that's
distance.
what they said it was the distance that killed it.
Listen, people say a lot of things. Okay?
I mean, it's probably
I
true
think-
though. He's over in Australia right now. He's filming a movie. It's Kim Kardashian. She travels all the time. I'm sure it was the distance.
No, but remember, Kanye would spend chunks of the year living in Montana, and he would be on tour, and they were apart a lot too, and that lasted for a very long time, and many children.
Yeah, I read reports that he was sort of had some maturity issues and some impulsiveness.
So you think that she dumped him?
I do. I think he would call and say, hey, meet me out here. I'm in Australia. You got a private jet. Come on out here. And I think that can be annoying to a mother of 4. She's got 4 young kids. And there had to be a moment where she just woke up in bed and said, what am I doing dating a 28-year-old? We're not in the same phase of life. Even if he's exciting, he's obviously a big comedic star, makes her laugh.
To help her. It's not like as stressful.
It's a lot. 4 kids is a lot. I get it. Nannies do definitely help, but she's got a lot of responsibilities on her mind, and her life is here. And you got recitals to go to.
She just needed a rebound from Kanye.
Yes,
and
she got it.
Yeah.
So who loses in this? Is he going to sort of date every starlet?
Nobody
again?
loses. Nobody loses.
This is just a fun relationship.
His resume is outstanding. He will not lose. Like, no, not at all. He has girls sliding into his well, he doesn't even have social media anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What a
we'll
roster.
Find one.
What a roster. So what does Kim do next? Like, I think reconciliation with Kanye is off the table. Those two aren't getting together, even though they got the 4 young kids. But
no, but wait, I
single
thought she
Kim
started
for a
to
while?
follow. Didn't she follow him back on Instagram?
Oh.
Wasn't that a thing? And then that's why everyone started to think that they broke up.
Well, they're attached no matter what. They've got
they're
always
they've
gonna
got
have
4
those
kids together, and they've got to like sort of figure out functional co-parenting.
And once Kanye stopped sending dump trucks of flowers to her house, then she probably was like, okay, we're cool now.
I was kind of mad that Kanye did this.
Yes,
it's like,
what's
you were
your deal with
doing
this?
so well. I know. It's like, come on. And they broke up on Friday. He just did it this morning. It's like he kind of like already like missed like the
It's sort of
party.
unnecessary to sort of dance on Pete Davidson's grave. It's not
like,
like
when this
he's already
news broke,
done.
Kanye was dancing around his sparsely decorated compound. He was just like
his
so
little
excited.
asylum with white walls and no furniture. I don't think
be a song that comes out.
Look, Kim's not going to take
No, she
kindly
doesn't
to this.
follow
The
him.
one other thing I wanted to say is when they were dating, Kim and Pete would do these things where he took out the kids. Remember, we'd get them out at the Grove, and he took them on shopping sprees and so
got
so
their
forth.
initials tattooed on his neck.
Yes. The tattoos. What
I don't know
what
what
of the
you do.
tattoos? He's got the "My girl's a lawyer."
Then he has
got
the kids' initials, and I think he has one more of Kim.
Yeah, he really
or
went for it.
something.
He thought this was forever.
Yeah.
And
But he does this all the time. He did it with Ariana. He had to get those covered up.
what did he
after
cover
she
that
fell
one up
off.
with?
Cursed.
Maybe he should get social media because it's much easier to delete Instagram photos than it is to cover tattoos.
So is.
All you got to do is change your grid, man.
Yeah.
Now he's got to like actually get these lasered off. But I always thought, look, he took the kids out. I think likes being a fun uncle. I think there's part of this that he didn't, maybe she broke up with him, but there may be part where he was like, why am I dating a woman with 4 young kids? It's fun to sort of uncle it up for a while, but then having 4 kids is a grind. He would have to be an actual stepfather if he stayed in this relationship, and they went further down the road. And maybe Pete was like, I'm 28, I'm a movie star now.
Yeah.
I'm
But he's
out.
going to have to hear about this for so long because now he's on the next season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. No, just the Kardashians now since it's on Hulu.
That's
so
right.
It's gonna be
There's a
all
whole other
on there.
cycle of
There's
this.
a whole other cycle. Remember, she's like, babe, you want to go get in the shower with me and have sex?
Yes.
There's a whole thing that's like going to like come back out.
Ah,
And
the
he's
good
gonna-
old days.
Yeah, and he's going to be reliving this forever and ever.
You're right. I forgot the
never
whole
going to
second
end.
life. And he's off SNL now, so we'll see. Like we'll see if he can maintain the momentum. That's what I'm curious about. He's off SNL, so he's not in the zeitgeist in the same way. He's now not with Kim. Does Pete have the chops to be a big movie star? We'll see.
He's got to date somebody that can take the attention away. So Queen Elizabeth, that's it.
But you know
or Queen Latifah. One of the two.
I also kind of feel bad for is Chloe. Her and Tristan had their baby via surrogate, and like Kim just stepped up and like took all of her news.
Bye headline.
Bye headline. And me and my
although she's probably relieved a little bit. There was a lot of like negative Tristan headlines, so she can just enjoy her kid. All right, what do we have next?
Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. This was rough. We haven't heard from Kevin Federline in what, years?
Yeah.
Like he like kind of like spoke out about the conservatorship. He was against it, didn't think that it should be for 13 years, but now he did an interview with the Daily Mail and is throwing so much heat at Britney, saying the kids are trying to like avoid her, don't want to be around her.
Two kids, Sean and Jamie. How old are they?
They're close to 18 because that's why Britney and Sam are also saying that he's doing this because his child support, all of his income is coming off to like an end soon. And so now he's trying to get back out there and he's supporting Jamie Spears, saying that he's a caring father.
Said he saved Britney's life.
Yes. And like when the conservatorship happened, everything got into line and Britney and Kevin went off on this. Like they can't believe that he like spoke out, which
I don't understand why he did
it.
He's played this perfectly to this point. He's led a life of, by Kevin Federline standards, quiet dignity. I mean, through all of this, while Britney is twirling and lashing out and in court hearings and the conservatorship and so forth, he's been quiet and he's been a sort of stable presence for these two young kids. And I asked their ages because to me it's very important. They are 16 and 15. Sean is 16, Jaden is 15. Their mother was one of the largest pop stars, but now has a bit of a sort of sad, aging pop star persona now on Instagram where she posts topless photos and she twirls around.
Is what he's kind
it's
of
embarrassing.
Saying. Yeah.
And I understand them, like, not wanting to associate with her, really.
Yeah, but just think there's so many celebrity kids that have that.
Yeah.
A lot of, like we were just talking about Kim Kardashian. She posts naked all the time. Like, a lot of,
Yeah, but it's different going through the conservatorship and the mental breakdowns and all those problems.
Well, that's what he was also saying. The kids, like, were asking about the conservatorship, and he was like, I can't answer all those questions. I just, like, said that your mom, like, needed help, and, like, that's just, like...
Although it's interesting that K-Fed defended Jamie Spears because there was a rough patch between the kids and Jamie Spears. Remember, there were some allegations that he was a rough.
They were calling him names on her social media.
So look, their mother is sort of. I don't know how to describe it. She's sort of living all this life that she's had pent up for years, and it seems like she wants to cram in as much as possible. She's gotten married to Sam Asghari. She posts very, very actively on Instagram. She's going topless. It's like she's just lashing out for all the years that she was cooped up. And I understand her perspective as well as, this is my life. I've got these kids, but you get one life to live, and she wants to live it in a certain way.
She took her shot back at Kevin Federline. She's like, the thing these kids will regret is having a father who hasn't worked in 15 years.
That was bad.
But this is not
she fired back.
These kids to hear their parents warring back and forth. We know who K-Fed is, but to them, that's their dad who goes like food shopping and stuff.
We knew something was going on because when you don't go to your parents' wedding, it says something. Like, that's a big statement not to go to your mom's wedding.
And they were big. They sort of like took the high road with that and sort of wished her well, even though they didn't attend the wedding. They didn't trash Sam. They didn't do any of that stuff. They've sort of been publicly pretty dignified throughout the whole situation. So to see K-Fed go to the Daily Mail and do an interview, I thought was a misstep. I didn't think it was necessary. He has handled this with aplomb throughout, and it's a difficult situation for Kevin Federline to deal with his ex-wife's antics. But
the whole interview hasn't come out yet. It's going to air sometime this week on ITV, so I kind of want to wait to see. Yes, because I'm hoping that there's better context, and these are just like headlines that are coming out.
Yeah, I hadn't heard. It's interesting your theory though that now that they are 16 and 15. The gravy train, so to speak, is going to come to an end. And he's going to need some sort of relevance. There's a lot of life left to live for K-Fed. Is he going to get back in the studio, give us another new Popo?
I don't know that will pay the bills
Popo
necessarily.
But very sad situation. I hope it gets better. Seeing kids warring with their parents is to me the ultimate tragedy. Yeah. What do we got next? An even bigger tragedy?
Yeah, a literal tragedy. Anne Heche. Anne Heche, remember her, actress from the late 90s, early 2000s, dated Ellen DeGeneres famously. Ran her car into a home in Mar Vista, plowed into the house. There was a woman at home with her pets. Fortunately, the woman was not hurt. There was a fire that took an hour for 60 firefighters to put this out.
Mar Vista, like a little suburban neighborhood. For people who aren't familiar with LA, I live near Mar Vista. It's about 10 minutes from my
It's one of those places, there's no reason to ever drive more than like 20 miles an hour.
I don't even think that there's a speed limit over 40.
Oh, no. Yeah. And there's speed bumps throughout the neighborhood. It's very family friendly.
It is a quiet little community. She was driving through, apparently had maybe hit a couple of things before landing in the house. Police are going to do a toxicology report, get a blood sample from her to see if she was under the influence of something. But it was just crazy. Like, there was video of her
being pulled out
being pulled out on a stretcher, and like you think for a second you wonder if she was dead.
Yeah.
And then you see her just like pop up and start frantically clawing.
That was the craziest.
Yeah.
Yes. She's in stable condition now. She's expected to survive, but apparently has some very, very serious burns because you see the charred remains of this. It's a Mini Cooper, I think.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's been through
roasted.
a movie set or something.
Yeah.
It's roasted. It looks like it's been on a Michael Bay like explosion or something. It's very, very charred.
How she's not more hurt is
yeah, that's a miracle. And the woman in the house too. I mean,
yeah.
Imagine you're just like in your house and suddenly here comes Anne Heche in a Mini Cooper flying through your living room, like
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And apparently there's been a GoFundMe that's raised around $17,000 so far, at least at last I checked. For this woman, lost a lot of possessions. I mean, your home is filled with things that you value and treasure, and you lost them in an instant to Anne Heche, like careening through your living room. It's a pretty tough situation. Now, Anne also had a podcast, right? So there was a podcast that she does with, I think, someone named Heather Duffy. And in the days leading up to this event, there was an episode that's now circulating on the internet where she was pretty drunk, it sounded like. She had sort of vodka and wine, and they were talking very sort of openly. So people are trying to connect dots. It happened on a different day, even though it was uploaded on Friday when the accident took place. But the cops obviously have some suspicion that something was going on. She was rampaging through a neighborhood doing other things. Yes. So
I mean, when you get a blood test ordered, someone thinks something's happening.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough. I mean, she's convalescing. We wish her well. No one, you don't wish anyone to be in this kind of pain in the hospital, but she's going to surface and also have to deal with the legal consequences of this. And there's very, very likely there will be serious ones, maybe sort of misdemeanor hit and run, maybe some DUIs thrown in, things like that.
And she destroyed a woman's house.
Yeah.
And apparently someone narrowly missed hitting an actual woman, which would have made this entirely different.
House.
Yes. Yeah. So thankfully no one else was badly injured other than Anne Heche, but it remains to be seen how this sort of shakes out, what mental condition she's in. I think we're going to be hearing more about this incident as it
definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's all we have. Oh, the one other thing I wanted to bring up with you guys.
Bill Maher? What are you talking about?
Did you guys happen to catch Bill Maher?
This Bill Maher on obesity. His rant that he did on his Friday show.
This guy doesn't pull any punches. You know what I mean?
No.
He really just goes for it. And in his I guess it's not a monologue. It's sort of at the end of the show where he does his new rules and sort of his outro. He just leaned in.
There's a disturbing trend going on in America these days, rewriting science to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality to be. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. That's new. That is new. To view letting yourself go as a point of pride? We used to at least try and be fit and healthy, and society praised those who succeeded. Now the term body positivity is used to mean I'm perfect the way I am because I'm me.
He's always had a thing about sort of the sugar crisis in America and the obesity epidemic and so forth because he keeps in good shape and he sort of watches his own weight.
I haven't seen him shirtless. I want to see it. After this rant, I want to see.
I don't know if he's shredded, but I don't think he's like
I want to
obese.
see something.
I always look at him and he has.
Do you really?
He has the physique of a man who's never had children. He's lived a bachelor life and he has, he's in pretty good shape. Look, he's not Harvey shape. Harvey is
none of us are.
So yes, metabolism of a kangaroo rat kind of guy. But Bill,
not even a kangaroo.
I know.
Bill Maher though sort of is talking about he really has it in for pants with drawstrings.
Yes.
He thinks this is just
Rather
sort of
than
capitulation.
The buttons. Yeah, because it lets you always have that like what the holiday weight where you unbutton
the Sansa belt.
Yeah, and he's saying, look, around the holidays, that's fine. We let go a little bit. We have some turkey. We eat lots of pie. But he's like, we do this year round in this country. And he's like, it's really adding in terms of the healthcare in the country. And there's an element that he's right. This does contribute to problems in society. But when it's said from a guy who... the messenger matters, right? I mean, he's this little fit guy who's very, very wealthy, is able to lead a life where he can buy the very best things to put into his body, and not everyone lives that way.
Well, and have a person to cook for him.
And have a person to cook for him.
And it's a thing too, like working out all the time and eating super fit, it costs money.
It costs a lot of money.
And so, for somebody, and anybody can be healthy and whatever, but if you make $30,000 a year and you have 3 kids,
you drive through McDonald's.
You gotta get what you can get. Yeah, you gotta what will go the farthest, and that's not always the best stuff. But yeah, he was just saying it's like we don't just accept obesity in America; we celebrate it now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And I don't think
he's not wrong exactly, but
there's an element of truth to what Bill Maher says, but he's very controversial because he's very blunt about these things.
Yeah.
And not particularly nuanced all the time. He just sort of blurts it out and he's like, this is an epidemic and we need to address it as such and stop fat celebrating. He calls it fat celebration rather than fat shaming. So he takes it very, very far. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like what if we were like, you know what else is a drain on the economy is old people.
Yeah.
You know what?
Right?
We're tired of these old people, like
walking slow.
Yeah. Yeah, boomer.
Boomer.
Your generation is crippling the Social Security fund.
You guys just keep on living.
Yeah.
Do a monologue on that. Yeah, you're living too long. We need the epidemic.
Your camera flashlight is constantly blinding everyone.
That's about it. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Download the podcast wherever you get them. Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Google.
See Derek's uncovered face on YouTube.
See you then.
Oh, yeah. Bye.